New to me. So I was like, that was something that prepared me for what I was getting ready to do. Had no idea, right? Mm-hmm. But what people used to yell when he say go, D1.
Oh yeah.
And Brown Mackey had
some
they
dudes.
They was loaded, man.
Man, come on, man.
From the guys that was playing down to the red shirts, everybody could play.
Oh yeah. So now, when you redshirt, did you take that as disrespect? Did you understand the process at that time?
I understood the process because I knew I wasn't a big name guy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel it.
I knew I wasn't a big name guy, but I was like, wherever I can get my foot in the door at, I'm gonna try to make it work.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when I went down there, he was even like teetering the fact, he was like, man, I might put you on the team. This is what he was telling me. Now I don't know if he really meant it or not, but that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I always did is I work hard. Now I was a center in high school.
Yeah.
You know, but I had to play like the 2 and the 3 in the AAU for some of my teams. As I got older, that's where they started putting me because they was like, man, you might not grow no more.
That's right.
But I had a old head, man, when the executive 3, Mr. Bates is the one who ran that. If it wasn't him, I probably wouldn't have went to college.
At all.
At all. And he had ran with a guy named Fluff Parker Sr. And he's like, Walls, man, you strong in that post. You got to stay down there. And I'm like, I'm trying to go to college.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want a 6'1", 6'2", you know what I'm saying, post.
Strictly post.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I got to work on my game.
You got to.
It took a while for it to transition, and then when I finally got comfortable, because I could handle it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from the East Coast. Like, you got to be able to handle the ball.
Right.
To a certain extent.
Hey, that was the narrative on y'all up there. It's like, okay, them suckers can handle. They got that. They got to handle it. They gonna pat. They don't shoot it great.
Right.
But they trying to get by you.
But you know, I didn't have that pat like Steve Francis and those guys like that I saw. You know, and it was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I can handle it. And at the park, that's what I did. I played around with it. I practiced. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to the park by myself outside and work on my game, whether it was post stuff or wing stuff, because I knew I was gonna have to transition.
Yeah.
This is before I even went to junior college. You know what I'm saying? So like I just kept working on that stuff, and my favorite move was the step back, man.
Oh yeah, even then?
Yo, I tell kids all the time, it took me like 3 years to perfect that move. I started working on it from 15, both ways.
Okay.
Everything I did, I started both hands.
Right.
So when I first started dunking, you know what I'm saying, going into my junior year, I practiced I went up with the right, and then I was like, okay, I think I got the right hand. Let me start working on going off the right leg with my left. Mm-hmm. I dunked better with my left hand than I did with my right. People used to ask if I was left-handed.
Man.
That's crazy. So I was like, nah, I just practice.
1 foot or 2 foot jumper, preferably.
1.
Right.
I was not a very good 2 foot leaper, man. I used to try to practice that stuff, but there was one time where I was kind of like leaning.
Yeah.
He was in open gym down at Cisco, and that was only the one time that I got that lean in dunk.
Oh, you put it down though?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the break. It wasn't in the game, you know what I'm saying, but it was pick up, but you know, it was practicing.
Uh-huh.
I knew I wasn't a 2 foot leaper, but I was gonna try. You know?
For sure.
And it didn't work out though.
You didn't stick with it.
I jumped higher than people thought, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just telling somebody the story the other day about, we had a 6'9" guy from Philly, you know, and he could play too. But we was in open gym and I went baseline and he didn't attempt to block it. And I was like, why you didn't jump? He was like, you ain't dunking on me. Because he knew I had them sneaky.
He just let you have it.
He knew I had them sneaky hops.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not gonna catch me. You know what I'm saying?
Quick off the floor?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I feel that.
Sometimes I might catch you sleeping and, you know, I really just wanted a bucket.
Yeah.
I was efficient. I tried to be efficient.
That's true.
As I got older, you know what I'm saying, stop taking the bad shots. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I love KD.
Man, that dude.
Because I feel like he's efficient.
He's a super low maintenance superstar, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you don't need The Rock to do his thing. You know, he gonna maximize those touches, though.
Yeah. It's basketball.
Yeah. You gotta learn the game, though.
Yeah.
You see so many hoopers that just hoop, you know, but they don't necessarily know. It's a different level to this game, man. You gotta learn how to think it. But, you know, that's a rabbit hole I can jump down forever. But, man, what was your upbringing like? You know what I mean? I know you from...
I'm from Landover, Maryland. I was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Landover. Kentland is where I was really raised at.
Right.
Mom and dad, when I was very young, split up. You know what I'm saying? I witnessed a lot of, you know, domestic, you know what I'm saying, violence and stuff like that. But It was kind of tough, you know what I'm saying, in that single parent home. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a father there, you know what I'm saying? My big brother was kind of like my father figure. You know, we got a big age gap, it was like 15, 16 years or something like
Really?
that. So like, he used to take care of me, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that he showed me. And being from where I'm from, like, you just can't be no punk. I'm not gonna say like I won every fight, I'm not gonna sit and say that, you know what I'm saying? So nothing like that, it's just my upbringing.
Yeah.
You just had to be tough. So like, moved a lot around the middle school. Home got foreclosed on. Do you mind about?
Man, go roll.
House got foreclosed.
I'm learning you right now, bro.
Foreclosed on, and so we had to move. And like in my middle school years, I probably moved, living with my mom's friends and my brother and stuff like that, probably like 7 times, bro, total.
In middle school?
In middle school.
Was it 6th, 7th, 8th where you were from during that time?
It was 7th and 8th.
So that's in a year span.
A year span.
Yeah.
So like, it got to the point where I was pretty much living with my man, Fat Mike. That's my guy at Sandbox.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His mom, Mama Keita, rest her soul, she just passed away this year. That hurt. You know what I'm saying? She was like a mom to me too because she took me in. She didn't have to. Fed me, you know what I'm saying?
Treated you like hers.
Treated me like I was hers, man. So like, if it wasn't for that, I would have had to change middle schools. I love Charles Carroll Middle School. That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
We had ballers there, you know what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot of guys that was there that I looked up to. Guys from Landover in general, you know what I'm saying, that I looked up to. Both Tremaines. My man Fat Mike, older brother Jack, you know what I'm saying? He was a baller. I used to look at his scrapbook, you know what I'm saying? Not just like his scores or, you know what I'm saying, not his stats or whatever, but like he had college letters in there. Cincinnati, Michigan, Florida State, University of Miami. Like, I'm just like.
Did you realize what you were looking at that time?
I kind of did because, man, I'm telling you, like, I used to watch ESPN, like, faithfully.
Yeah. That was your news.
I remember, like, in kindergarten watching Georgetown and Carolina play. Like, these are, I wanted to play basketball. I had an older cousin, you know what I'm saying? He's not really like blood, but Daryl Holmes, we called him Duty. He played at American University. So, like, I had guys from the neighborhood that I looked up to all the time. You know, our gym teacher used to tell us stories about Len Bias.
Oh, man.
Shooting in the trash can at Columbia Park Elementary. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's history there.
Yeah.
There's another guy by the name of Henry Hall. They called him Radar. Dude shoot from anywhere.
As soon as he come in the gym, in
Man,
range.
you dropping 50s without a three-point line.
Yeah, that's different, man. All 2s and 3 the hard way.
Yeah. So, like, you know, I hope I ain't really missing nobody, but Landover, man, that's the heartbeat. I always have to go back to Landover when I go home.
I feel that.
Sugar Ray Leonard from there.
Yeah, man. One of the
You know
greats.
what I'm saying? Martin Lawrence is from there. So, you know, I had some tough times. I had some good times. You know what I'm saying? The last time that we moved was right before I was going to go to high school, and it kind of made me mad because I was forced to go to Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, Eleanor Roosevelt is one of the top schools in the county, probably the state, right? Education-wise. Not knowing that they was getting there athletically as I came in. Now, my point guard in middle school went there. Another guard that was there ended up going there. They both played football. We played football. That was my first time ever playing football.
Going into high school?
Going into high school.
What made you go out there?
Pretty good.
Did they lean on you?
I always said that I was going to give it a try when I got to high school. Because I was always too heavy as a kid. I was a fat boy, you know what I'm saying? So they was going to make me play with the big kids, and I was like, I don't really want to play with the big kids.
I ain't playing up.
Yeah, I'm not doing that with football, you know what I'm saying? So like, but you know, 33, backyard, driveways.
Yeah.
That molds you, that outside stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of that. Yeah. When I got here, I was like, where the kids at? I don't see nobody outside. Like, what's going on? It's different. You know what I'm saying? But things have changed. Trying to get them kids back outside. So like this summer, I had kids outside at the park in Ulaga. Yeah, man. Training in the heat. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Trying to build that mental toughness, though. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to that Landover thing, man. That's just, man. That's love. That's love right there, man. There's so many things that I feel like I could have got into. You know that picture circulating on social media with the kid with the rags, the gun, the Jesus piece?
Yes, sir. I saw that about 2 days ago.
That's real life, man.
That's what it was
For
for
a
you.
lot of kids, period. A lot of people don't understand that, though. They don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they don't know what we face with every day. Being from a low poverty environment, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of my best friends is in prison right now
Right.
because of the stuff that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and he ain't getting out till 2028. Now, let's think about this. I was 16, he was 17 when he went in. I'm 37 now.
Yeah, boy. That's a real
You
big.
know what I'm saying? So, like, I was always opportunity for me to get into that type of stuff. My brother is one of the ones who kept me out of it.
Did you feel yourself veering that way at any point?
It was easy to.
Okay.
But I was just like, once I picked up that basketball, though,
So you
it was
needed.
a wrap.
I feel it.
I didn't look back at all. Like, one of my first coaches, Coach Carter, man, Clarence Carter, that's Lil C's daddy. We ended up playing in high school together, but we started out at Columbia Park. First coach ever. And he had, like, Mark Blount that played in the NBA for a little bit. He was his agent. So I had good coaching from the get-go.
Yeah, you had a good village, it sounded like.
Yeah. So, you know, you had them people, when you say village,
Yeah.
makes me think of some of the neighbors that I had. Like, some of them older ladies, man, they just wasn't putting up with your stuff.
Right.
And
They get on your ass just like your
big
parents
time,
would.
man.
Yeah.
And on your ass for real too.
You need
like,
that.
So Miss Thorne, I have to give a shout out to her. She always showed grace and love too. She's like my grandma for real. Every time I go home, I got to see her. She's still living. But man, me and my homeboy Jimmy, man, we used to run around terrorizing. Like, throwing rocks at cars. My homeboy too used to do the same thing too. So like, we used to throw rocks at his church building.
Why though?
For no reason, man. Like, for no reason. So it's like,
knowing you
like,
finna get got.
what are you doing that for? Like, it's just kind of dumb, you know what I'm saying? But like I said though, like one day Miss Barton got on our head hard, like, and we cursed her out.
Word.
Don't nobody really know that, you know what I'm saying? But we did. I don't think she really said anything, but we felt like she was mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as I got older, I started to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that. She was just trying to, you know, she had our best interests.
That's right.
But you see, when I moved away, my boy Jimmy started hanging with a different crowd. So when we would go get on the bus, after I moved back, you know, I went and transferred back to Parkdale, he wouldn't get on the bus.
At all.
Nah, there was a few of them. Sometimes they wouldn't. He was like, what's going on with that? You know, somebody had said that he started doing stuff, and I'm just like, I don't believe it. Sure enough, my mom was like, he was on the news. Had a bunch of stuff in his basement.
Yeah.
So I was like, man. So he ain't getting out till 2028.
Boy, yeah, you definitely you had to go your way, huh?
I had to.
Yeah. I know exactly what that looks like, man. The best partner of mine that passed, man, when we were, 16, 17 years old.
Is that the picture that you posted the other day?
Right.
Yeah, I see Zoe share that picture quite a bit too.
For sure.
You know, around his birthday or whatever. So
Yeah.
like, it's tough, man.
It's tough. You know, you get to that fork in the road, and then, you know, when one person move in this direction, you move in the other. You know, but the one thing I will say, every time we came together, it was love, though.
Yeah.
I never tried to preach to him and, you know, put my ways on him. He never did that to me. He just understood that, all right, when it gets to this point, I know you, bro, you going here, and you know me, bro, I'm going here.
Right. And I had a lot of friends like that, though. There was a lot of people from Landover that could hoop for real.
Yeah.
That ended up choosing street life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, that could have easily been me.
Right.
But I knew that I had to get out of there. And basketball was going to be my ticket. So, like, in elementary school, when I first started playing, I used to get the Slam magazine.
Hey, it was prevalent back then, boy.
I hated reading, but I would read that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, started reading about Rasheed Wallace, which he was one of my favorite players. Even started to draw out of it, too. You know what I'm saying? Pictures of people dunking. Like, I drew a picture of Nick Van Exel before, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that I was going to be an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had different things that I thought that I was going to do, but nothing ever pans out the way you think it is.
That's right. It is good to have some direction, though, because then ain't nothing that you do is random once you figure out where you're trying to go.
And that's the thing, is I always feel like I didn't ever really have that guidance.
Yeah.
Now, my brother, he saw something at Roosevelt, though. Roosevelt's a really good school. Now, I played AAU with Eddie Basden, who went to UNC Charlotte, played with the Bulls for a little bit, right? He was there. And I'm like, okay, well, there was another guy by the name of Delonte Holland there that played at DePaul and played overseas for a long time.
All right.
Hooper.
Yeah.
Like Kobe.
For real.
Oh, he could go. He was tough. Okay. The next year, I met a guy by the name of Delonte West.
Mm-hmm.
We was playing JV, and I was like, so I go to tryouts, and I'm like, well, he just as tall as me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way like he got guard-like skills because everybody stuck me in the post. Right.
You thought for sure he was one of those.
Man, he was tearing me up, man. I was like, I'll never want to guard that dude again.
Ever.
You know what I'm saying?
Lefty with it.
Lefty, too.
Yeah.
And was splashing, bro. I was like, yo, this dude, I was like, where was you at last year?
Yeah, man, he's cheating.
So, like, once you hear the story of his, you know what I'm saying, there, like, apparently he was, like, in a facility his 9th grade year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just tough. But he was a hooper, though, bro.
You hear even now, he's had his struggles.
Yeah.
Even in adulthood.
And that's the thing is,
After being a pro.
I didn't know that, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I hear the stories, and I'm like, man, Rez was good, though. Like, he was a good dude.
Yeah.
You just never know what's going on with people. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
So, ain't no telling what happened with that story. You know what I'm saying? You know, people gonna portray what they want to portray.
That's true.
They gonna put the stuff out there that they want to put out there. So
Yeah, and you know, and even us, like trying to, you know, put myself in a situation like that. I know if I'm transparent now, I think, but there are certain portions of a story that may not paint me in the best light. So I may keep some of them details.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I'm not sure if that serves me well, but I think it's a natural defense mechanism we all have. Like vulnerability is tough, man.
It is, and I agree with you on that. The crazy thing is I be like, man, I feel like I'm an open book. But everybody probably don't know everything there is to know about me. Yeah. And sometimes it's good to just keep it that way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things at Roosevelt, too, another one, Alpha Bangor, okay? A lot of people don't really know who Alpha Bangor is. But when I got there, he was at Notre Dame Academy, right? He actually comes back, because everybody was talking about Alpha, how good he was, right? He came back. And this is how I knew this dude was a stud. Everybody at lunch. You want to know where this dude at? In the gym.
In the gym, huh?
Putting up shots, man. And like in a full, like dripping sweat.
Right.
I was like, that's got to be Alpha. Didn't nobody say, hey, that's Alpha? Like, I was like, that's got to be him.
Got to be him.
And he didn't take it easy on us in practice when JV used to practice with the varsity. I remember trying to set a cross screen, man. He clubbed me in my chest.
Ooh, he jammed you up something different.
I was a freshman. I was like, dang, like, but I was like, you just can't back down. You can't be no punk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's always the mentality that I carry with myself, even when I face struggles now.
Yeah.
And even though it's a little harder now, things are a little different. I ain't no kid. You know what I'm saying? There's more stress.
Yeah. And you got to figure it out.
You got to figure it out.
Folks ain't really got no sympathy like that. Not for
a
grown man.
They don't, man. I be like, man, like if y'all understood what was going through my mind, like maybe you would have a better idea.
Right.
You know
good thing we can't be indicted for what we think.
Oh my goodness, Lord, if we could be indicted for what we think, man, I would have been indicted years ago.
Yeah, you don't know me. You wouldn't know me.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you said that, man. You actually taking me in the direction I wanted to go, because you mentioned the words. Gotta be tough a few different times. I look at that differently now as a grown-up, because I remember, you know how we came up as, we didn't necessarily have the exact same upbringing, but being inner city kids, we were taught, hey man, as boys, you don't show emotion, man. You know, don't be letting nobody see you cry. Don't let nobody see you vulnerable. How do you think about it now?
It's so funny that you say that, because I tell kids, I even tell my students.
Yeah.
There was times where I used to cry all the time.
Really?
Because my dad would not come and pick me up, right? Now, I'm coming and he don't show up, man. That disappointment hit hard when you were youngin', you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm balling, and all of a sudden it just stop.
Yeah.
We're talking about somebody like growing cold, not really being affected by anything, you know what I'm saying? And for years and years and years, like, I didn't shed no tears.
Right.
The last, like, when I started to like really like open back up, my heart got softened was when I was at USAO. My cousin passed and he was a little younger than me. You know what I'm saying? And that hurt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like flowing. I hadn't cried in years, you know what I'm saying? But that was tough, man. My man, Shorty, Shorty didn't even get to live a full life. Like, so Wayne, like, what are you doing? You know how you kind of know where you know you're not really doing what you need to do.
You need to check yourself.
Yeah, I check yourself. So like when it comes to that stuff, like I don't harp on my son about crying unless he really crying for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But he's emotional.
Yeah.
You know.
Hold up, people think emotional means just one thing. Like whenever we hear the word emotional, we think, oh, somebody crying. But you know, it's different levels of emotion.
Oh yeah. The anger. You know what I'm saying? And that's
happiness.
Yeah.
Just super thankful.
Yeah. So like it's gonna be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I used to be a therapist too, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is crazy because it's like, and then my wife get on me for this all the time. I've had so many different jobs after college.
Right.
Now, I wanted to go overseas. Like, I know that I could play with those guys overseas. I knew that I could. All I needed was my foot in the door. So when it came to colleges, everybody would be like, I'll give you a partial, just off of word of mouth, right? But when I get down there and I started playing with those guys, they be like, next semester, oh, we gotta give you more money.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So that was just that hard work that I had. You know what I'm saying? I had that work ethic because I knew that once I get in there, I could show them different.
Right.
Right? I know I just veered off, but like, what?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Where were we at again?
Man, we were definitely talking about just redefining the word tough, man.
Okay.
You know.
So like,
and I think before you jump into it, I'm gonna give you my spiel, and I want you to correct me if you got a retort. I think tough really is owning how you feel for real, and not running from it. Okay, if something got you bugging, don't just tell me, no, I'm good. You know what I mean? Own that. Okay, you feeling however you feeling. Okay, now you identify what that is, and then we can try to rationalize or logic our way through however you feeling. But don't tell me that you ain't feeling nothing when you know you feeling something. All you doing is just putting it away. And now later on, when you blow up, somebody else gonna get it that don't deserve it. You know what I mean?
And that's one of the things that being a therapist taught me.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Because the more you keep it in, the more you hold it in, the more damage you're doing to yourself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So like. Embrace it, like you said, own it. Man, if something bothering you, you better speak up.
That's
if
right.
you don't speak up, ain't nobody gonna know. And then you blowing up on somebody who ain't even had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and they look at you like, yo, where's this coming from?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? What's going on?
Boys, for real.
Oh yeah.
We got that bad.
Bad, real bad. My wife, you was crazy. Like, at USAO, oh my gosh. Like, I was kind of chill, but there were certain people, man, that if I was feeling a certain way, man, I was gonna let you have it. I'm gonna curse you out.
Just like that.
Just like that.
From 0 straight up to 100.
Not an issue at all. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, like East Coast, like, I'm gonna let you know how I feel.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to like carry a tough guy mentality or anything like that. Like I really started to grow up there. You know what I'm saying? That's when my mentality started to change. And I'm gonna hate saying this, but my wife, which was my girl at the time, she said, Wayne, if you go to jail, we done. I said, serious? She was like, yeah. So already that was like, got me to thinking like, man.
Why did you respond that way though? Because that sounded like to me as if you felt like it was a for real possibility. And you were looking at her like, come on, this ain't gonna be nothing but a bump in the road. Because you know I'm going, why would you say that? You know what I mean? That's the undertone it just had to me.
And you said you can be indicted for your thoughts?
Ah, okay.
When you coming out of college and the only thing that you ever loved doing was basketball and you feel like it's gonna be over, and you from the hood, what you thinking? You don't have to get money, right?
Yeah. You ain't
One
thinking
of the ways that we get money is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, do I really go that route? Or do I try to find a job? Like, those are the battles that I was struggling with coming out of college because I didn't even really know how to get a job. I didn't know how to fill an application that good. You know what I'm saying? These are things I had to learn over time. I got better with over time.
Right.
So, like, when it comes back to the mental toughness thing, right? The toughness. I worked at Office Depot, making like $7.49 an hour, part-time, out of college, right?
Yeah.
I've worked at PetSmart. I've worked at FedEx. I've done the utility locating. You know what I'm saying? You see the orange paint and the yellow paint with the flags and stuff like that. I've done that. From that, I went to like the counselor side of things. I drove a bread truck, bro.
Damn, man, you did a whole
A
lot.
whole lot, right?
Well, you just trying to find your
Trying
niche.
to find my niche. Working with kids as a behavioral health specialist in the counseling field.
That's where I got started.
Detention.
Yeah,
I worked in detention, bro.
Yeah, I saw some of this stuff on your profile, but
Yeah, man.
not everything
So,
you saying.
Therapist.
Right.
City of Tulsa. Before I came here.
How'd that work? You know what I mean?
So like when you talk becoming this toughness thing,
Right.
I had pretty much lost my job as a therapist. Now you got 2 years under supervision, right? You got to pass the test in order to continue.
Right.
Well, I didn't pass the test. I took it 2 times.
Right.
I didn't pass the test, so I pretty much didn't have a job as of July 1st. So I had to start hitting up temp agencies to get some work. Whole time I've been wanting to work with in the school system.
That was always what you wanted to do?
It's not always with them, but it's something that I was like, I want to coach.
I got you.
Right?
I got you.
Not necessarily saying that, man, I want to be this type of teacher or that type of teacher or anything like that, but like, I want to get in there and I want to see what this is like. You know what I'm saying? So at the city of Tulsa, where I'm at now, Carver.
That's right.
And it was crazy how it went down. But those are all the different things I tried to do to try to figure out where I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I had to take them different steps. And I probably left out some stuff, but like I've tried a lot of things.
Man. It sounds like you were like grooming yourself by accident. You didn't even know.
God's plan is always better than mine.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And that's something that like I struggle with because I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. Like, what do you have for me? You know what I'm saying? And I tell the kids this week, I said, no matter what, I'm going to always love kids. That's my first deal. Like, I always love the kids.
More than the sport, man.
More than the sport, anything. Like, nothing is important, but I love you and I want to try to see if I can get you going in the right place. Why? Because of all this stuff that I've tried. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was a bather at PetSmart, bro. Bathing dogs, man.
Hold on. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a division of that.
Yeah.
Wow. But now that I think about it, somebody got to do it. You're
Exactly.
Right.
So, like, there's something that I'm going to provide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For my family. They need me. And that's the thing that my wife gets mad about it. She's like, I hope you're not looking for something else. Because she already know. I can't. And it's not a thing of me staying still. I'm ambitious.
Yeah. You got other stuff you want to do.
I got goals that I want to meet.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's still, I love the kids, but I still have goals myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And one of my goals is high school. It used to be college. When I went to Gloucester County College in New Jersey, Coach Rick Jackson, probably one of the best coaches I ever had. Right? This dude knew how to exploit mismatches. He run sets for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy because I had never had coaches do that. But he knew I could play. You know what I'm saying? He knew I had an IQ. I knew how to read. I was always going to try to make the best decision, but there was times where I would go in the game and I'm firing that thing up.
Yeah, it's about you.
Because it's Juco, right?
Yeah,
and you're hungry, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I got to find a 4-year college.
Yeah. This can't be the end for me.
Mr. Bates passed away shortly after I think I was at Gloucester or something like that. And there was a dude that had a program named Frank Pfeiffer. 400-pound white male. I'm like, ain't no way this dude know anything about basketball, right?
Right. He didn't look the part.
My man Larry Hill, which is one of my best friends to this day, he was my point guard in high school, besides Rico Hill. And we from the same neighborhood. He told me about this guy. So I went up there to work out, and I was like, this is legit.
It's the real deal.
You know, run and shoot was booming.
Oh, yeah.
So you had the weight room, you had aerobics room, you had a cycle room. They had a barbershop in that joint with like 10 whole courts in there.
One-stop shop.
Real, like legit, right? I go up there, we working out in the midnight hours, man. We go up there, start at 9. We in a weight room for 3 hours.
What in the hell is that doing weight room for 3 hours? Hold up, man.
5 nights a week, we in that joint for 3 hours. working on different stuff though. You know what I'm saying? And then we would go do aerobics after we were done. Aerobics, I'm like, aerobics? What the hell we doing aerobics for? Man, this shit ain't going, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, start doing it, and it's like, man, you more flexible, you know what I'm saying? You got that bounce in your step, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, then we would do drills, and then we play pickup. Like,
I love that. Put the pickup on the back end.
oh, yeah, pickup at the
You
end.
got to earn that.
Crazy thing is like one of his, you know what I'm saying, the guys, like, you know, big name guys, Louis Bullock. You remember him?
I remember that name. Yeah.
Shoot the lights out.
Yeah.
And he came up and worked out with us one day, man. Like, that was one of the biggest deals I had ever. I was like, man, this Louis Bullock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every shot that he shot hit the same way. Now, he's a pro now. But, you know, he's overseas. I think he was in Spain at the time. Every shot he shot hit the same way. So we in there, like, competing against each other. You know what I'm saying? Every time we go work out. He was another guy. He was like, man, just stay home after I was graduating high school. Just stay home, don't wear a shirt, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Just stay home, take a year, and I'm going to get you somewhere. I had no idea he had the connects that he had. Even though I knew that Louis Bullock was his guy, right? I'm hard-headed. He's the one who told me I had an attitude. I didn't believe it. You know, I ain't got no attitude. I did.
Now, you calling yourself hard-headed because you went against what he suggested? But see, hold on now. I'm gonna play an advocate for you on this because see, I don't know if that necessarily defines hard-headed because like we all got to think for ourselves. Even though you may be a youngster and I may know better than you,
right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you got to feel right about making the move. So just because I tell you to do it, that don't necessarily mean it's the right move.
Right.
You see what I mean? And sometimes you got to touch that stove anyway.
And I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm not listening to you. Like, I have to go to school.
Gotta go to school.
Now, one thing I knew about myself is if I don't go to school, like, even though I stay and take courses at PG, I ain't going to school.
Yeah, you too close. You too close to the
I ain't
man,
going
the
to
elements.
school. I would say I'm not going to go to school, and I probably won't go after a year. You know what I'm saying? Sitting out, I'm like, nah, I can't do that. That would have been tough for me.
Yeah. That's a different type of discipline, I would think.
Yeah, so like after Juco, like I was even thinking about trying to go to UDC, right? Division II joint. I was like, nah, I know myself. Because if I go home, I ain't going to school.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I ain't going to school. I'm going to flunk all the team. So I knew I had to go back out far away.
Yeah.
You know, so like a little bit about my journey. I done been to Brown Mackey in red shirted. I played at Cisco Junior College down in Texas, south of Abilene and Dallas-Fort Worth.
Right.
Program got shut down.
Yeah, that type of thing.
Budget cut across the state.
The
football coach was the AD.
Right.
They weren't that good, but he ain't gonna fire exactly. He not gonna fire himself.
Come on now.
This is when, you know what I'm saying, I started smoking and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, this is too stressful. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna do now?
Right.
Well, here comes Mr. Bates with another guy who's high end up at Gloucester, Coach Rick Jackson, right? He comes to see Pleasant Rec, just where Kevin Durant's from, right, to watch a workout. He wants me and Larry to come down there bad. And there's a couple other kids from Bladensburg he wanted to come, and another guy named Spence, my man Spencer Wake.
Right.
So we got 4 Maryland guys down there. Larry decides not to go. He decides to stick with Potomac State at West Virginia. One of my AAU coaches from West Virginia was telling me that he wanted me to try to go to Potomac State. So I'm talking to the coach from Potomac State, and he tells me he's waiting on this 6'5" guy from Connecticut. And I'm like, okay. And in my mind, like, well, you just keep waiting on him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I ended up going to Gloucester. It's talent down there. Like some gems, you know what I'm saying? Like some hidden diamonds in the rough,
yeah,
right?
Below the radar on
Dave Watson could play. We had a guy named Old School who probably averaged a double-double. Called him Old School. He was 26.
Yeah, I knew it.
You know
I knew that's
saying?
why y'all said that, man.
And probably averaged a double-double. Tough as nails. And was explosive, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he'll dunk that thing on you off the rebound. You know what I'm saying? My man Lamont, God rest his soul, one of the most athletic kids I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just shout out a few. Chris Nichols, Yusuf. Those were 2 Maryland guys, 2 guards, tough. When I said Larry might be coming the next year, it was like, man, I don't feel like I'm not competing with him. Larry's strong as I'm and fast as all get out, right? This is my man. This is who I used to work out with one-on-one.
All day.
I had to get better. So if he was in the gym, I was in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
We had goals.
Right.
So look, back to Gloucester. I walk in the gym and I'm like, dang, lots of regional banners in there. Division III Juco, I think is what it was.
Straight accolades.
But yeah, I'm like, man, this is crazy. I want this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Seemed like a good school when I walked there. The vibe was good. You know what I'm saying? And coach was calling me. He came to my house. You know what I'm saying?
That's different.
Came to my house to recruit me, and that's one of the biggest things I tell kids. If they ain't talking to you, it ain't that serious.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not trying to build a relationship, it ain't that serious.
Mm-hmm.
If they talking to you and they calling you, you know what I'm saying, and trying to, make sure that you still coming to their school, if they want you, and it's a good fit, go.
Mm-hmm.
If they paying for it, go.
I say that to athletes all the time. It's like, you don't necessarily go where you want to go. You got to go where they want you. You know what I mean?
And if you fit, man, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter what. You know what I'm saying? The thing is at the end of the day, you want a free education.
That's true.
That's what I tell them.
I didn't get it free. I got it discounted. I got a bunch of partials all the way through, but that was the best I could do.
But I'm telling you, and sometimes ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Nah.
And that's where I was at. Like I told you, I would get a partial.
Mm-hmm. And then you earn the rest of it.
Man, when I get down there, they be like, man, we got to give you more money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but at Gloucester, man, I'm thinking, oh man, I just had a bad experience at Cisco where I played with Ivan Johnson. Like this dude playing in the league.
Oh yeah.
Beast, yeah. When we first got down there, I'm like, man, this dude ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? Because he playing around, right?
Right.
Practice start.
Hit another gear,
bro. Like this dude playing a passing lane, getting steals, ain't nobody catching. He, boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this cat is legit.
Oh yeah. So I see it now.
I'm like, I'm feeding this beast. We ran a 4-hour 1 in. I'm like, man, I'm gonna dump it down to you regardless.
He finna touch it every time.
Yeah. So there's times where this is how I knew he had respect for me. Like, Weezy, if I ain't got no shot, I'm kicking it back out. If I ain't got none, I'm kicking it back out. If they come to double, I'm kicking it back out. Just stay in the corner.
Simple basketball, though. You know what I mean? Simple basketball.
So,
it's hard to get a lot of them to think that way now.
Exactly. So, like, I averaged about 10 in conference play. We talking about McLennan, Collin County. Mm-hmm. These are big-time Division I JUCOs in Texas on the west. So, at the end of the year, they try to help us get to another school because, he had to break the news to us, himself.
Mm-hmm. That the program
is shutting down. So, like, we go, Coach Carver takes us to Navarro to work out for Coach Orr. Legendary, right? Cameron went down that joint. So we get in his office, he's like, you know who that is in that picture? He's like, that's Killer Cam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm working out there.
It ain't all music, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I'm working out there, and this guy that was on my team, he was like, man, give him the ball. Like, just kept giving me the ball. I mean, I'm pop, 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 step back, block it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, he can play. But conditioning was always an issue for me, right? So I didn't have that body. You know what I'm saying? Like that Division I type body. I didn't have that body. And after we had finished working out, and I did my thing. I really did. Mm-hmm. Even though the guys that was more athletic than me that came down and worked out with me too.
Right.
He said, so they had food. Mm-hmm. I got a burger and I got a dog, right? It's like a sausage. He's like, Wayne, I really think that you could be a hell of a player in the East Conference with San Jacinto and Tyler and all of them. You know what I'm saying? That was a hell of a compliment, right? He was like, but you got to stop eating that shit.
Yeah.
He was like, if you lose 20 pounds, you could definitely be a hell of a guard in the East. And I'm like, man, shit, you going to tell me I'm coming to school there? You know what I'm saying? Or what? You know what I'm saying? If I can lose the 20, I can lose the 20 if I'm coming to school here.
Yeah, just get me on the hook.
Give me the opportunity, right? But, it just never panned out.
Right.
But that was a compliment that I took the rest of the way with me. Ended up working out down there with a guy that was redshirting down there by the name of Frank Benson, who played at OBU.
Yep.
Tough as nails, man. I mean, like, even when I was guarding him in the workout, every shot, hand in his face, bucket.
Didn't matter.
They called him smooth. He wasn't fazed by nothing.
Yeah.
So when he got to OBU, man, this dude was dropping 40s on people. He can score like that. You know what I'm saying? So back from Cisco, Gloucester, right? 2 is a 180.
Yeah.
We wasn't even ranked at the beginning of the season at Gloucester. Played a top 25 team in Passaic, beat them by like 30. So we keep doing this. Before you know it,
You on the map.
we in the top 25. Before you know it, we number 2 in the nation. I'm coming off the bench. I play 3 positions, 3, 4, 5, right?
You
So
had no
I
problem
know I'm
coming off
gonna
the bench,
play.
though, did you?
Not at all. And I'm gonna get to that right here
Yeah.
in a minute. No problem at all coming off the bench. Well, Lamone is starting, freshman,
Right.
true freshman, right? And coach, I remember this conversation like we just said. We riding down around Philly, and he's like, "Man, I'm thinking about sitting Lamone. Man, he's not really playing well." This is how I knew how mature I was and how confident in myself I was. I looked at him. I said, "Hey, coach, let him rock it out. I think he's gonna be all right, right?" And I'm the one he's saying, "I'm gonna put you in that position. I'm gonna start you."
Right.
And I was like, "Nah, let him rock out." This is when I started to I like coming off the bench because I'm actually watching the game and I'm studying. I'm a student, right? I'm looking at tendencies and all of that.
Your job is always easier when you're coming in as a reserve, too. Like, okay, this is what we're missing right now.
Yeah.
This is the spark I need to be. I can be that.
So, and Mon ended up showing out.
Yeah.
Like,
The
and
very next game?
I hate to say this, huh?
The very next game?
Yes,
Yeah.
the very next game.
The one that you vouched for him on.
Yeah, I said, man, he gonna be all right. I said, let him rock out. And now I remember this dude, I went to go tip the ball in, he snatched the ball out of my hand
Yeah.
and dunked on me.
His
That's
team,
how
man.
athletic he was, man. I was
Right.
like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But had a good experience at Gloucester. Still, wild, you know what I'm saying? But it was a good experience. Coach Jackson was awesome.
Yeah.
He used to shop us around. Took us to Bridgeport, Connecticut, right? I'm like, I really like this school, but if I go up north, I'm gonna get in trouble. I know myself.
You knew that again.
I know myself. I said, if I stay on the East Coast, I'm probably gonna end up going to jail.
There's
or
going to be
something.
some problems.
Yes. So I was like, I have to go back out to the Midwest because it's more laid back out there.
Yeah.
Briscoe came up to Philly.
Yeah.
To
You
watch
know
us
that's
play.
what my dad's like. How the
Yeah.
hell you find yourself in Chickasha, Oklahoma?
Briscoe came up to Philly. Now, mind you, I look at the recruiting board as we at Bridgeport, right? There's a kid in the conference whose numbers are way better than mine. He at the bottom of the list, though. Way better than mine. He at the bottom of the list.
Right.
But when I go down there to work out, and my name is at the 4th, like one of the 4th names on the board for the 3/4 position, right? I work out against one of their best kids, man.
Right.
They was like, man, Wayne, that kid is one of our best kids after we were done. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you actually did a really good job against him. He averaged, you know what I'm saying, like double figures and, you know what I'm saying, was like probably like 18 or so, but he dropped like 22 on UConn in the exhibition game. That's how you know somebody can play.
Yeah, come on now.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, they calling me 2 weeks after. I'm already down to Cisco. I done already made my mind, not Cisco, but USAO. I done made my mind up. I'm going there, right? And they calling me like 2 weeks after school. Had already started. Still trying to get me to come to Bridgeport.
Trying to put that bid in.
Yeah. So ended up at USAO. I'm looking at the guys that got full rides and, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, would you offer me a partial? Now, that's on me too, though.
That is.
Want me to tell you why? Because at the gym that we was playing in Philly, the floor was extra slick.
Right.
And I'm like, if I go out here and I'm going all crazy hard like I usually do, man, and I tear something, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so you got to
know what I'm
half step
saying?
a little bit.
So I had to half step, and I hate saying that, but like I had to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I ain't no big name kid like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, if I'm gonna get this opportunity, if he gonna like me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to do something, but I'm not gonna tear myself up trying to get a scholarship. And went down there, you know how we start opening the gym, you know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Before season gets started and stuff like that. So like I'm tearing everybody up.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, right?
Ain't nothing subtle about it.
But as soon as they come in and start watching, everybody else starts to
They start elevating.
elevate their game.
Yeah.
Right? So once they start elevating their game, the first day that they in there, I don't look as good.
Yeah.
And you know, people have been talking, right? I don't look as good. When I walk through the hallway, you know what I'm saying, through that doorway to go get some water,
Yeah.
you know, they high-fiving guys coming through and stuff like that.
Right.
When I walk through, they drop their head.
Uh,
Drop their head. I pay attention to this shit.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I noticed this. Talking to my roommate, Ryan, who was from Philly, red shirt. He was tough too. Tough as nails, bro. I said, man, did you see that shit? I'm quoting, this is exact words right here.
Right.
He's like, what you talking about? I said, man, they was dapping up a lot of other folks, man. But as soon as I walked through the door, like they kind of like dropped their head like I'm some shit or something.
Right.
And excuse my language, I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm busting everybody's ass from here on out.
Yeah. That's all it took for you.
Light switch. I mean, when I tell you like I was destroying the folks down there, man.
Starting from the very next day.
Yes.
I feel it.
From the very next day, because
Did their temperament change after that?
you know it did. You know it did.
I know them brothers.
Yeah, so like that was a wake-up call for me, man. So it was like, and that's when, you know what I'm saying, like, man, I was like, you got a full ride? You got a full ride? Like, hey, like, I need more money.
Yeah.
I got it. You know what I'm saying? And the most solid thing about them is like, I graduated.
That's the key.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a year after I was done playing. I graduated.
So you stayed there and finished, right?
I stayed there and finished.
Was that a struggle for you though? Because you know athletes, a lot of times that's the only thing that drives us.
Yeah,
to
it was a
stay on
struggle.
point.
But my grades went up.
A struggle, but your grades went up.
Struggle, but my grades went up.
That's a beautiful contradiction right there, my brother.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But that's how it happened though, because I was a partier.
Even during your playing years?
Oh yes.
Did that go up though after you were done playing, or did you dial that back, son? As far as kicking it.
I dialed it back.
Okay.
Because this is when I started to like really like settle down with Nikki too. You know what I'm saying? So like the partying and stuff, I still like to go out. You know what I'm saying? But I was just telling, like, I was like, man, look, I would show up to 8 o'clock class at like 8:30, man. Because I had a hard time sleeping too, which, you know, class ended at 8:55.
I can already say it's a 50-minute.
Yeah.
You know, just go and chill, man. Just give me the cliff notes,
that's
bro.
how I knew I was wild. I was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm strolling in this dude's class, man, and
And I know they would look at you like
what's wrong with this dude?
and you got sleep all in your face.
Oh, all over it.
Hey, let me ask you this though, because I'm always curious when I'm talking to people that come from bigger cities and bigger states that are nowhere close to Oklahoma. Was it a culture shock for you at all when you got out here, or were you past all of that because you've been south?
I was past it because I was at Solana. Solana was.
Yeah, that's true, Brown Mackey.
Yeah, so Cisco wasn't nothing there.
Yeah,
Barely went anywhere in Cisco.
right.
You know
Them
what I'm
Juco
saying?
towns for you.
But yeah, so like with USAO, it wasn't a huge adjustment for me because I had already been in towns like that, and you know my mom's side of the family is from Virginia. It's country out there, so I was kind of used to it anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't a whole lot new.
Had some white people that set up on the hill, Mr. Dick and Miss Jenny. Like those were like my second grandparents down there. I used to get down there and run up the hill.
Right.
They had cookies for me.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like I knew they had stuff for me, so it's like
Cookies for me.
So like that's like one of those things where I never looked at race like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then you get to Solana, Kansas, Cisco, Texas,
Right.
even at Glosson,
Where was Gloucester?
Sewell, New Jersey.
Okay, got you.
So not too far from Camden, but
Right.
man, we walking through the store and we got people yelling, "Hey nigga," out the window.
Man.
And I was like, I didn't think that would be like this in New Jersey, but at the same time, you gotta think a lot of the Italians, they didn't like blacks. Think about Bronxville, right?
Right. Classic.
It's kind of like that. It was
Yeah.
really kind of like that, you know. So,
But other than that, that was pretty much your only brush with it.
yeah,
You taking me somewhere now, man. Cause I'm gonna ask you something, brother. You know what I'm saying? And you feel free to go with it wherever you want to go. But your wife, Nikki, she's a white woman, and you know, and y'all are happily married and everything. What are the challenges, if any, that you can even identify with being in an interracial marriage, man? Because you know the way people talk, the way people think, the way people approach,
So,
especially in today's climate.
and I'm gonna keep it a buck. you know how I'm black. Black.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like
no
hood,
confusion.
ghetto black.
No confusion. I wouldn't call you ghetto. You got,
I am.
You got a little
but
edge
I
to
know,
you.
But I know how to act though. That's one of the things I know how to carry myself.
You got that switch.
That's what separates me from a lot of guys.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know how to carry myself. Like I said, a lot of growing up. She's part of that. You know what I'm saying? Part of helping me grow up like that.
Right.
You know, she'll check me. But they be like, well, he married to a white girl. You know, you can tell you can get that vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Folks will never be bold enough to say it to you.
Yeah, they won't say it, but they be like, well,
You
you
feel
married
it.
to a white girl. You can feel it though.
Yeah.
Or she married to that black guy. When we was dating, and I would come down here and we would go to the Walmart in the Wasso, the stairs that we would get, it was ridiculous. I'm like, why in the hell are you looking at me like that? I'm like, yo, take a picture, it'll last longer.
Yeah.
This is how mouthy I was, like, you know what I'm saying? And then like the transformation hit. When the transformation hit, I stopped worrying about it as much, but I still see it.
Yeah.
And me being a big black man in Ulaga, predominantly white area, right? I've been there since 2010. You think that there was some serious issue, you think I'd still be there?
Nah. That's a decade and some change, bro.
Man, and the thing is I'm a nut though, like I ain't running from that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't scared of no friction, bro. Like I'm confrontational. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you got a problem, like bring it to me.
Yeah.
You know, either we gonna talk about it and we gonna get it hashed out. You know what I'm saying? I can get violent too. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to. And the crazy thing is if I was to do that, what kind of position am I putting my family in if I do that?
That's true.
So I had to start thinking a different way.
Different ways
You know
to
what
fight
I'm
them
saying?
battles.
So like one of the things that I think that really helped with that whole, you know, interracial relationship, biracial, whatever you want to call it, biracial kids,
Yeah.
I took over the youth basketball program in Louisville, like 5 years ago, right?
By choice, or was that something that just kind of fell in your lap?
She pushed me to do it.
All right.
I had helped my brother-in-law's team with AAU, MAYB,
Right.
coaching and stuff. And then I finally got to the point where I was just like, I ain't coaching no more, I'm just gonna go work. So I'm working in Okmulgee with Creoles, right? Heck of a drive.
Yeah, man.
Over an hour one way. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a marathon
she
every
sends
day.
this what you call it, advertisement for a new president. You know, Chad is stepping down. Chad is the town dentist, which me and Chad used to hoop in the men's league together.
Okay.
So like, I'm looking at him like, man, hell no, I'm not doing that, right? Kept saying no, and I was like, let's do it. You know, I hit him up, and he was like, I think you and Nikki would be great to take over that youth program.
Oh, y'all gonna do it together?
Together.
Ooh, okay.
And we a heck of a team. You know what I'm saying? We had some other people help us out, Erica Jones, Jeremy Sanders, Jordan. A lot of the teachers would come help out. Thank you to the parents that stepped in to coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we was running that thing. I had never did anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
Never. But I'm a leader though. You know what I'm saying?
Naturally, huh?
Natural. I never follow, you know what I'm saying, anybody. You know, if the guys was getting ready to do something stupid, and I knew they was going to do something stupid, I'll holler at y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go my own way, and I don't care what kind of flack come with it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we've been doing that. This is year 5, and I'm stepping away now. You know what I'm saying? But that was something that propelled me back into coaching, though. My niece, she's white.
Yeah.
But this is my wife's sister's child. And I've been there since she was baby.
Infant. Right.
I'm uncle. You know what I'm saying? We might not be blood, but I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And she moved back to Ulaga, and I started coaching her team.
Right.
And those kids, a lot of those kids are still playing today in the 7th grade.
And you just Wayne to them.
Right. I'm just Wayne to them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are talking about the impact that I made on the community just through basketball.
Right.
And I'm like, that's crazy. I didn't think that I would be able to make that kind of impact here. You know what I'm saying? And what used to be called a sundown town.
You said a sundown town?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what that means, right?
I'm pretty sure I know what that means. I just
You
never
better
heard.
get your butt up out of here before the sun goes down.
Yeah, I just never heard that terminology with it.
So like,
Wow.
it was like that in Henrietta. When I was in Okmulgee County,
Yeah.
we were riding through trying to find somebody's house, and I saw this rope hanging from this tree. And I'm like, say, wait a minute, that's a noose.
That can't be what I think it is.
I said, that's a noose. I took a picture of it and everything. They was like, oh man, that's just a swing. I was like, that ain't no damn swing. That's a noose. I ain't no fool. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I've never seen anything like that around in Umaga. A lot of the people treat me good there. For the most part, I still train kids there. I train kids out of Collinsville.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about me, when I worked in the counseling field, I worked with anybody that was thrown my way.
That's right.
Because just like in basketball, I want to be versatile.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's in life. If you can't adapt to certain people, you're not really going to go really far.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Got a
So
bunch of different people out here in the world,
a
dog.
bunch. And everybody not going to be like you.
No matter how they look.
Exactly. So like, and that's one of the things I pride myself on is adapting. Mm-hmm. One of the things I adapt to is just teaching though.
Yeah, man. Take me to the classroom.
That's tough, man. Because first of all, I'm at Carver.
That's right.
And these kids are ridiculously smart. Kids are smart anyway, whether they let you know it or not.
For sure. I know y'all got a different set of academic standards over here too, man.
We do. So I'm like, man, some of these kids, they probably could teach me under the cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, that's how smart they are. They sharp.
Yeah.
But one thing, like I told you yesterday when we was talking in general, one thing about me is I was worrying about that stuff way too much, right?
About what? What about what stuff?
Like, am I doing this right?
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing I know is I'm making an impact.
Yeah.
When the kids are walking through the halls and, hey, Mr. Walls, some of the kids don't even have your class.
That's solid.
The kids are talking. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I treat them like human beings. I'm probably one of the most lax teachers in the building, but you still gonna have to do what you need to do, you know what I'm saying, academically. But, you know, whether I'm the best AD, coach, teacher,
Right.
whatever, I'm gonna make an impact.
It all depends on how you grade it. You know what I mean? It is, you know, you compare something like that to, you know, the conversation that's like never ending about who's the greatest of all time when it comes to sports.
And it's never ending.
No. And I'm gonna tell you why, because we come up with a different rubric for every person. You know what I mean? I may be grading this one way, and then you may have a different category.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I think everything comes down to that impact, like you said.
Yeah, and there's perspective on that stuff too.
It
You know
is.
what I'm saying? So like, but one thing that I always say is I want to go down as a great. I want to leave a legacy. That's what I mean. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm just trying to do the best that I can do to reach these kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when you look at guys like Mr. Miller, Larry, you know what I'm saying? Like they in there, they out there.
Two pillars. Oh yeah, you see him.
They out there all the time.
You hear him before you see him.
Yeah, they loud as a mug.
For real.
I still hear Mr. Miller voice in my games.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Kiki was my point guard when I was there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I can hear him. Like I got this game we was playing against UCO.
Yeah.
I had a solid game that game, right? Probably like 15, 6, and 5. I can hear his voice. Come on, Walls. I mean, loud as a mother. Dude sitting at the top.
Yeah.
You can hear him clear as day though. Like
Mr. Miller, man.
I was like, man, this dude is something else. And like the thing is like they said yesterday, he was a cheerleader.
Oh yeah, he was.
There was games where, you know what I'm saying, there was tough games, and he was like, man, Walls, you hit some big shots. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that stuff is still, you know what I'm saying, stuck with me. Not only that, like after college, the dude, you know what I'm saying, was still kind of like giving me advice if I would ask him. Like I remember going up to Snow's, man, and talking to him about some situations I had dealt with. Quick Trip, I worked there.
Yeah.
I got a CDL from working at Quick Trip. See? You know what I'm saying? Like because I went to drive the truck.
All right.
I was working in the warehouse. I went to drive the truck, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that was another part of, you know what I'm saying, a job.
Self-discovery
Finding
right there,
myself.
boy.
When I tell you, like, you just got to try a little bit of everything, and I wanted to go to corporate at Quick Trip.
Really?
Yeah, but they didn't want that though.
I understand. Once
I started driving, they was like, we want to keep you here. Pretty much is what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, that was the ceiling for you.
Yeah.
In their mind, anyway.
In their mind.
I got
I'm
you.
like, oh, you're not gonna dictate what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my attitude.
Right.
So once I hurt my shoulder and I was like, I can't go back inside, it was like, nah, you're gonna have to keep driving. And I went back
writing on
out
the
there
wall.
and I was a helper and I felt like it wasn't strong.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready. Gotta go. That's when I went to detention. So
That's
like,
it.
it's like,
Kid business, baby.
yeah, so it's like, I gotta do what I know I'm good at. I'm good with kids. Always been good with kids.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Compare all of that up for me. I'm gonna lump all this together, and I want you to sift through it and tell me the differences and then the similarities, because you talked about your work as a therapist in the behavioral health space, right? And then we're talking about dealing with some challenging kids in the detention center, right? You coached boys and girls, right? Now here you are as an athletic director. You're in administration now, which is said to be more white collar.
Yes.
So, but it's all the kid business. Like,
Still.
break that down for me. What's the same? What's different?
I don't know if there's an actual same and difference. Like I feel like it kind of like go hand in hand.
I feel it.
Because even though like as an AD I'm with the white collar stuff, right? The kids are still kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even if I don't coach them kids, I speak highly of those kids. If they are, you know what I'm saying, if they legit ball players or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in the field, I did the same thing. As a mentor, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Try to get them to motivate, because most of those kids you deal with in the behavior field, they ain't motivated. You know, they got some issues that's blocking them from doing what they need to do. So like, I don't necessarily separate it. I just do what I do. That's just me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always be me, especially when it comes to the kids. So, but you know, this is a new role still for me. I'm still learning a lot as an AD. But my interaction with the kids, it just doesn't change. It doesn't. That's the way I can answer that.
That's very dope. From an athletic standpoint, have you found since now you having to be present at all the athletic events? I'm guessing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and have you found yourself learning about some sports that you weren't necessarily interested in?
I didn't really get to learn about the sports that I was interested in last year because of COVID.
True.
Track, soccer.
Right.
You know what I'm
In the
saying?
spring, the weather getting back nice.
Yeah, there's a spring sport. So like, I'm kind of looking forward to getting out there and learning more about those, because there's a lot that I don't know.
Yeah.
So like, somebody asked me a question about how it was, and I'm like, I can't answer that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get to experience it last year. So like this year, it's going.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So like, I'm gonna have to learn some more about that so
There
that
you
I
go.
can answer those questions. So.
Because I know for me it was all hoops growing up, and it sounds like it was that
All
way for you too.
hoops. All hoops.
I didn't
Well,
have much of an interest in
But
any other sport.
it's sports is sports. So like when I was at USAO, I used to go watch the soccer games.
Oh, were they cold then too during your era?
They were getting better. They were getting there.
They were the real deal.
Yeah, they
during
were
my
getting
era.
there.
Oh
So,
man,
softball,
yeah,
baseball. You know, we used to hang out with a lot of them.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
We
so
did too.
like,
Hey,
so
them
we going to
boys,
support. You know what I'm saying?
they're a good time. We're gonna put it that way.
So we going to support y'all too. So like I was watching those games, the baseball, softball. Like we just, it wasn't that much to do.
True that.
So you know, if there was a game going on, we was gonna go check it out. So like, you had kids, some of them support us too. Like we were like friends, like a group of friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like that right there is something I look forward to here, is learning more about those sports. But a lot of people, I've heard some good things, you know, about me being an athletic director here, you know, from outside, you know, and it's just good to hear that, because sometimes you're just like, man, am I doing it the right way? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I doing a good job? And you got some people who be like, well, if you wasn't, I'm gonna let you know. Like, but sometimes
Not
I still
always
need
true.
to hear that though.
Uh-huh.
You know
We
what I'm saying?
we need to be reassured sometimes.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of paperwork. That's the crazy thing, is as a therapist, it was a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. No stranger to it now.
Yeah. So like with the class stuff, you know what I'm saying, I'm kind of struggling this year because I got a monkey wrench thrown there, but I'm gonna try to finish this year strong.
For sure.
And I think one of the biggest things that affected me this year is not having the kids in the classroom. That was tough on me. When they came back, my spirit started to pick up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, now I'm in your face now. Whether I'm in a laid back teacher or not, like, I love having the interaction with the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's
You can feel the energy.
Yeah,
the energy.
The energy is there now. You know what I'm saying? I'm back up. It's been a tough year. You know, my girls this year only played like 3 games. 7th grade. That was hard. That was tough, man. Like I didn't really like how that went down, but you know, it's the circumstances that came with it. So you know, you just gotta live with it and keep pushing.
That's true. We all dealt with it in some way.
And 2 different teams from last year to this year. But sometimes if you don't have that one player though, it can make a difference.
You ain't joking. You ain't joking.
Kylan Johnson is that one player.
Yeah.
She is tough, bro. Tough. So we have tons of talent here at Carver.
Right.
Tons. They did pretty good in football. They did well in volleyball. They did well basketball season. Now we getting ready to see how they do soccer, track. There are other sports that we can have here. I just need to find a coach.
Right.
And I'm not one of those guys that just coach everything. I'm not that type of guy. I'm not a stipend chaser.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
So like take all the bread.
Yeah, I'm not a stipend chaser. So it's like
be out there stinking up the joint.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I be like, where in the world is he from? Like he don't know what he's doing.
Man,
Like, you know how
I cannot have that narrative, man.
I've heard people be on somebody's head, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you just
rough.
You gotta ignore it.
But first of all, you know what you're looking at when you see it. Like if you got just basic, for lack of a better term, somebody just filling in, you just out there.
Yeah,
but this ain't
you know that.
This ain't where your bread is buttered. You know that, man.
Yeah.
I can't be a sitting duck like that.
No,
that's just me though.
No, not at all. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
so
go
like,
get an expert for this kind of thing.
So like that. Also, like sometimes I question myself with a lot of stuff. Don't know where this came from.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I tell you I was cocky, like, and I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Since USAO.
Right.
Which is, I didn't say this, but this is where things went wrong at USAO for me. I was playing 32 minutes a game. I was starting. Didn't even have a full ride. I was starting, right? So I get into it with coach at practice. And it wasn't like a shout match. He said I wasn't running this play right. And I said, fuck this shit, and threw the ball in front of everybody. And when I did that and threw the basketball, I knew I had fucked up.
Well, did you at least leave the gym?
I didn't leave the gym. I went and got the ball and brought the ball back.
You did?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go, you got to go all the way, man. Come on.
Hey, man.
Hey,
but like when I tell you that, I knew that was when I had made a mistake. Like, that's when things changed.
Right.
I still had some good games after that, but it wasn't to the point where I was always out there like I was before. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how true this is or not, but we played against OSU.
Right.
When Joey Graham, Stephen Graham, John Lucas, James on Curry was there, right? McFarland.
Real boys.
They was loaded.
Mm-hmm.
My coach said he was talking to Eddie Sutton and they was comparing Joey Graham and I. He's like, I think you are like a Joey Graham type of player. And I was just like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude probably going to the league.
Right.
I don't know how true that was. You know what I'm saying? No, coming from Briscoe, it probably was. It probably wasn't no lie. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, if I'm that caliber player, then why am I not, you know what I'm saying, getting my opportunity to get back out there and play?
Mm-hmm.
Which I was still coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? There was times I would play 7 minutes. There was times I would play 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But it was never back up there to that 32 range.
All after the incident.
After that incident.
I feel you.
And I think one time I got into it with Kiki in Arkansas at halftime. You know what I'm saying? And when I tell you, like, my mouth was bad, like, attitude and all. You know what I'm saying?
Very disrespectful.
So, like, disrespectful was a mud. So it was like, I got some humble pie, man.
Yep.
And for a long time, I blamed Briscoe.
For sure. I think that's the natural thing to do.
Yeah.
You know
blame Briscoe.
Pass the buck real quick.
So, like, after years and years of that pain, you know what I'm saying, that I was carrying and that weight, it's like, man, you messed up.
Yeah, own it.
Yeah, you got to own that. You messed that up. It wasn't his fault. You did that. So after I came to grips with that, a lot more weight was lifted after the fact because I felt like it was something that was weighing me down.
Mm-hmm.
I could have made it. I could have made it. I could have made it. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't going to the league, but I knew I can go make some money.
Yeah.
Because of the guys that I grew up playing with and against and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys were high caliber kids. And I was hanging with those kids. So, like, if I can hang with those kids, then I could definitely play at overseas level. Possible D1. But nobody was recruiting a 6'1" center. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I grew a couple inches after the fact, but it's just like I could have had a 4-ride at Juco, Xavier University of Louisiana.
Right.
I didn't have no grades though.
Then there's that.
So I had to go Juco.
Yep.
And after I took the SAT, I was like, I'm going Juco.
I know.
I don't have no choice.
Fact.
I was thinking prep school. Mr. Bates was trying to give me the Laurinburg prep down in North Carolina. And I was just like, man, if I'm going to lose a year or whatever, like, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I just graduated and went Juco. Red-shirted at Brown Mackey, you know what I'm saying? And then the story goes on from there. Just always try to do the best that I could.
Sound like you got yourself back on track at one point, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that I can always respect that about any man. But here's what we got left. I got 2 things I want to throw at you. Number one, what's a regular day look like for you now? Now that we're back in school, in person, the traditional style of learning, what does Coach Wayne Walls or Mr. Walls, I don't know how they call what they refer to you as in the building. What's your
Coach
whole,
Walls and Mr. Walls.
There you go. What's your whole
some
day
of
look
them want to
like?
get funny and be like, Wayne, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you got to
Like,
check.
hey, man, what's up with you? I'm using my first name out here.
Yeah, we ain't cool like that.
A typical day since we going back in the building.
Yeah.
Now, I'm split between the Retro Academy and Carver.
Oh, okay.
That's tough.
It sounds like it.
I don't like it. I'm going to be honest. I don't like no parts of it. But starting next week, I'm going to have to start doing live Zooms with the Retro Academy kids. So from 9 to 9:30 with 6th grade social studies.
Right.
9:35 to 10:05 with my 7th grade social studies. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. Monday, I have advisory at 12:30. And then to 1:30, something like that, 1:30, 12:35, 1:35. Class from 2:15 to 4:15 or 4:09. It's rough. That double block is something serious.
We
you know
definitely
what I'm
got it
saying?
over there in Central Way.
So I'm like, man, this is crazy because last year I never experienced double block. And when you got somebody who's still kind of new, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how in the world am I supposed to,
Fill all that time.
fill all of this time and make this thing work like, you know what I'm saying, like the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
So, and then on Tuesdays and Fridays, my classes start at 10:45 here. 10:45 to 12:30, and then 12:35 to 1:30 for advisory. And then I have my planning period afterwards. So, I come in the building. If I'm here early enough, I greet the kids coming in, by my door, 6th grade kids. See a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
See a lot of kids like, man, you tall, you play. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's that natural instinct.
Yeah, so then I get ready to go into my Zooms. Try to figure out how I'm going to make it work, you know what I'm saying, with my class, which is tough.
Yeah.
But that's my day.
When the hell
try
do you
to
eat,
answer, man? After the advisory class, we had lunch.
Right.
So, and that's still tough. I tell the kids, like, man, bring a snack. Like, because if you don't eat breakfast and you going from to 1:30, 8th grade, you creating a monster right there.
Yeah, man.
You asking for some attitude and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Whole lot of friction.
But answering emails, trying to put in physicals, OSI issue clearances for athletic director stuff. So athletic director meetings at times. Talking with my coaches. Like just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a daily thing. You know what I'm saying? Also trying to make sure the camaraderie is up. So like a lot of the teachers that, you know what I'm saying, I hang with around the building, like I go speak, you know what I'm saying, make sure I speak when I go through the hallways.
Got
you know what I'm saying? Because
I do show love. We still people.
We still people and we all here together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I try to make it I'm as cordial as I can be, even
sure.
if we're not close.
I got you.
So,
That makes sense.
and then sometimes when you have them games, I don't even go home.
Yeah, you
There's
here.
days where I don't even see my family. They gone before, you know what I'm saying, I get going
In the morning.
in the morning, and my kids are asleep when I get home majority of the time. If, you know, basketball season is the busiest season,
Right.
you know, because you got 7th and 8th grade going. And sometimes they go on the same days and sometimes it's all opposite days. So I'm up here practicing too. So if I'm practicing, that's 4 days out the week
That's a lot, man.
that I'm gone. So it's difficult.
Full plate.
Yeah, full plate. And
It sounds like you love it, though.
But oh yeah. I love it though. And
That's
it's challenge. It's the most challenging job I've ever
Yeah.
had. But I still sometimes question whether or not I want to be in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm gonna keep fighting though. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep fighting because I know that I can get better at it. And if I can make the impact and then bring the content along with it,
Yeah.
that's gonna make me super dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Got to be respected.
I can keep going with this. I can. So even though no matter how tough it gets, how bad it looks, sometimes I'll be like, man, I don't know if I want to do this no more.
Mm.
I'm gonna keep pushing because those kids, my kids, those are my priority,
And they need you, man.
and that's what everybody say.
They need you.
Now, it was a little while ago, man. I was struggling, man.
Yeah.
Really mentally struggling, and I had guys reach out to me, mentors, friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank God for them because I was on the edge. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody kept saying, like kids need you. Not only the kids, like people. I
Yeah.
love people, not just kids. I love people. So that's why, you know, I send you the messages. You know, hey man, keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
We USAO alumni.
Yeah.
But not only that, like we black,
That's right.
we coaches, we mentors.
Same field, same fraternity.
Same, hey man, you gotta form a brotherhood. And
That's
even
right.
though I'm not on the high school level, it's like
That don't
I'm
mean
still
that.
gonna show love. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that it's necessary, it's needed.
Mm.
Some people need to hear it. Hey man, you're doing a good job. Some people don't understand what it's like to take on a new program.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I haven't done it, like I see, like okay, when you bring in a new coach, what that new coach gonna do? They're gonna bring in their, you know what I'm saying, how they want things to go.
Mm-hmm.
So now the kids have to adapt to the change.
Yeah. Unlearn, learn
And
something new.
relearn, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's tough,
It is.
but I know what y'all got over there.
Yeah.
I ain't no fool, you know what I'm saying? I've been watching y'all for a long time too. And y'all, it seems like y'all have a close-knit, like a family type structure.
We definitely working to strengthen that, man.
Get that, and that's what I want here. And I'm just the athletic director,
For that.
but we need that. I want a program,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like the kids are actually going to Booker T.
Right.
It's not a guarantee, right?
Even though y'all are the feeder.
Yeah, right.
don't-
So it's not a true feeder, though. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I still want that pipeline.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
You should. That's the way it should be.
So,
Here's how we gonna wrap this thing up, man. And from your competitive years, dog, when you played in college, man, if you could think of one team y'all lost to that y'all had no business losing to, and you would run it back in a second, and you think you'd be able to change the course of history, which game would you go back to, man? Because I know you don't. You a winner. I know that much. But for some reason, we always keep them losses in the front of our minds. You know what I'm saying? We can always go back to those bad moments rather than, going to those beautiful moments. So which one would you go back to?
I'm going to go back to Gloucester County College.
Yeah, who beat y'all?
Suffolk Selden, a team from New York.
Mm.
First round in the tournament. Okay. You know, Juco is a pick joint. Like, it ain't
Absolutely.
no seed, right?
Right.
They the number 1 team in the nation. We the number 2 team in the nation. We played each other the first round. First round, first game.
It ain't supposed to happen, but it happened.
First round, first game when we lost to them by 10.
Mm.
Even they like, man, y'all the best team we ever played. And a lot of people blame this rebound on me.
Yeah,
Now, I'm at the top
that's right.
of the zone. We got a 6'8" guy down there at the bottom. He mistimed his jump. And yes, I was tired. I ain't gonna sit here and lie.
Gassed.
I was gassed. I was tired. You know, in them big games, man, you don't sleep before.
Yeah. It's hard to shut that brain off.
So, yeah, man, that's one that I would love. I would love to have back because I think that we win a national championship if we beat them.
That's a fact.
Easy. Because after we played each other, both teams blew all the other teams out.
So the championship was in the first round.
In the first round.
God.
Crazy. So
Be like
that's one game that I would love to have back. But, you know, there was games at USAO that I had that was good too. You know, so like all the good memories, bad memories, whatever, I reflect on it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that game right there, I'd love to have that game back. Because I think we win championship if we don't.
Try not to let it beat you up, my brother. I appreciate this for real, bro.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
You take care of yourself. Keep overcoming them odds that we talked about off the record, man.
Yeah.
And like you tell me, you're doing a good job, man. I don't know if you need to hear, but I'm gonna say it to you anyway. You're doing a good job, my brother. Salute to you.